Okay, hello. So recently I've grinded a lot of FMC, and in the last few days I've gotten a 22.67 PBM3 and also a 20 single. So I thought I'd just make a reconstruction, also since I haven't uploaded in like 3 weeks. So the first one in the 22.67 M3 is a 2022, and I did red-orange axis EO. The bad edges are here, here, and here, and you can do this in 3 moves by doing B prime U to R prime. And then from here I did you have like this line here, and you can do DB to make it RZP into 3C2E. From here I switched, and it looks like this. And from here what I did was D prime F2 to set up to the trigger U prime, B prime, D prime, B. And this gives DR, and it's 4A1, 4E. So, like, that's good. And something interesting about this is that if you just put all the bad corners on one side and then did a quarter turn, you actually end up with 8 bad edges. So this is kind of like a checkerboard. And so how I solved it was by doing F2, R2, L2, and then that just puts all the bad edges. Like, what that does is basically like a checkerboard kind of thing, and then D to solve D prime to solve HDR in 15 moves. Then from here it was a bit of a weird finish. So it's a DR breaking finish, HDR breaking finish, like this, like that, and then L2 R2. But there's a very trivial improvement I could have made to make it a 21, because if I did the L2 R2 first, then doing this sequence would have actually cancelled one move with the first move on the inverse, which would have given me a 21. So it's a bit of a shame that I didn't see that, but that's fine. Okay, so this is the second scramble, and it was also a 22. So I did a white-yellow axis EO. The bad edges are these 4, here, 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 and here. So since you have these 4 that are bad, you can orient them with a U or U prime, in this case a U, and then you have these 2 and these 2, so you can do BF and then a D to orient them, and then you also are in 4E, 4C, so that's nice. From here you have this 2 bars, and you can actually solve the DR in 5 more moves by doing B prime R2 to set up this nice shape, I guess, and then D2 B R prime, and that solves DR, and it gives you a 4B2 2E in 9 moves. So at this point I just decided to log into this DR. Unfortunately, both sides of the scramble have parity for 4B2, like 4B2 parity. So for example, doing this will give fake HDR. So that's like not that good, unfortunately, but it still worked out. So at first I was just doing the F2 first and then solving the stuff, but that didn't work out. So I switched first, and then instead of doing the F2 first, I did L2 to make this pair first, and then F2. And then from here you're actually just 2 moves away from the trigger, so you do U2 R2, and then you are left with the trigger. And this trigger can be done with FE to F prime. And from here I actually did a double slice. So yeah, I did U2, L2, R2, F2, which gives 3E here, 3E here. But the slice rewrite for this double slice is actually kind of interesting. So it's a double slice in 20. So this is like 5 moves out of a double slice. In my original solution, this would be solved with R prime, F2, L2, R2, U2 to make the double slice. So if you widen the R prime and then you do the F2, you notice that you're really close to solving the slice. So actually the L2, R2 are like sliced out, which is a -2. And then you just do a D2, like from this angle D2. And then you have to insert 2 moves here. So that's actually the wrong slice in +0, which is kind of interesting. Unfortunately, so for the DR slice, it's a +2 rewrite. So you need to do F prime S, R2, U2, white F prime L2. So that's a +2. So the last one is a 24, and it was actually just all down in the inverse. So I did red orange EO again. The bad edges are here and here. So you can solve them by doing L, B prime, L. And then from here, you can do DF, which gives 4E4C RCP. And then from here, you can set up to the same shape again by doing this RWR. So that is DR in 11. But it gives 4A16E. So for 4A16E, you typically need to do a regression QT. Sorry, that's DR in 12. So this wasn't looking super promising, but like I just worked on it anyway because I couldn't find anything else. So D prime is a regression to 4B2, 2E. And then you can set up the trigger by doing B2, R2, F2, which sets up the trigger here. And then U prime, B2, UB2, U prime. And this is a very nice looking case, obviously. And then you can do L2, B2, R2, D2 for leaf slice in 23. Unfortunately, the leaf slice is a +1. So for the slice, we write white D2, R2, B2, L2, white U, B2, U prime, E, F2, R2, B2, D. So that's a 24. So this is my 20 PP single that I got just now. I also did red yellow EO, sorry, red orange EO. The bad edges are here, 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 and here. And you can do it in 3 moves by doing D prime, F prime, L. From here, you can do a 3C2E RZP in 2 moves, U prime, F prime. And this is very nicely set up to U2, B prime, D prime, B. And this is a 4A3, 4E. 4E. So 4A3 is a case where it's like it's either good or it's like horrendous, so you just try for a bit. And in this case it was pretty good. So fortunately, the bad edges are here and here. So fortunately doing a D reduces to 4B2 instead of 4B4. So D works. And then from here you're always going to have parity, so you just switch. And from here it is just 1 move away from the trigger. So originally I tried this, and then every double slice thing I tried to do seemed to give like 2E, like the slices both had parity instead of being like 3E cycles or whatever. So instead I did this other trigger, which is 2 moves longer, U prime, L2, U2, L2, U prime. And from here you can see that it's just like 4 moves away from leaf slice. So that's leaf slice in 20, and it's a +0. So from here, L2, U prime, L2, U2, L2, wide U prime, R2, D2, R2, D2, wide D prime. Solves it in +0.